VisualPlate has a very powerful reporting system that I'd like to talk about. To do reporting in VisualPlate, you have a couple options. One is to select Report All from the ribbon, and when you do that, you'll get a report of all the model and result information. Another option is to create the report manually, and I'm going to do that. To create a report manually, you can either switch to the Text Reports tab or select Create Report from the Home ribbon, which I'll do now. We currently have a blank report, and in order to add information to the report, we drag it off the available tables list in the Project Manager. For example, if I want to put my project settings in the report, I'll simply select it from the list, drag over to the report, and let up on the mouse, and I'll get that information. Mini tables can be long and voluminous. Let's take a look at some of the results information. Plate displacements, for example, start off with a very small amount of information. And why is that? Well, if I select the table by clicking on it, the Project Manager will switch to the Report filter, and in the Report filter I have options for this specific table. One option is the Extreme Rows Only option, which is currently checked. And when that's checked, the table will have blue and red values indicating the lowest and the highest possible value for each column. If I uncheck that box, the report will regenerate, and now we see by scrolling we have a much longer table. So a way to control output from results especially is by using the Extreme Rows Only column. There are other things you can do to the tables. One is to change its size. Currently, the table is for plate displacements is for the full width. Again, selecting the table, I can go over and change its page width to say from full to half a page. When I do that, notice the table is decreased in width, and that's very powerful if you want to stack things side by side. I'm going to select the Project Settings table and change its width from full to half. And now you'll see I have the two tables side by side. So a way to condense space in a report is by changing the width. Another thing to talk about are the filtering options for tables. If I select Plate Displacements, currently under Report Settings, we're seeing results for all result cases. Let's suppose I don't want results for all result cases, but say for just the 1.4 or the 0.9 dead case. If I select that from the list and say OK, the table regenerates, and now we're seeing results for just that case. I can select multiple values in that table as well in order to get a group of result cases. There are other kinds of filtering I can do. If we take a look at the plate filter, which we see for plate displacements, we currently have it set to all. Let's suppose I changed that from all to just selected. And now the report has gone away. Why is that? Well, there's no plate currently selected. So I'm going to go back to the Results tab, and I'm going to pick a plate and click on it and select it. Now when I go to my report table, we can see we have plate displacements, but just for that selected table or that selected plate. Or if I selected multiple plates, I'd see them for the entire group of the selected plates. Let's talk for a second about graphics that we can insert into a report. Notice we have a graphics option here in the table list, but nothing selected. If I go to my model and let's say move it around a little bit and rotate it, maybe look at the back side, if I go up to the Copy button in the Home ribbon and do that, that will place this graphic on the clipboard. When it's on the clipboard and I go back now, we'll notice under Graphics we have the Model View Clipboard. I can drag that over to my report, and when I do that, then I can insert graphics. So that's a way to insert graphics into your report. Let's unselect everything and look at the tables list. Currently we have Project Settings, Displacements, in the Model View Clipboard. If I want to change the order, I can drag things around. So I'm going to select the model view and drag it up in this list, and notice now it's atop. So that's a quick way to change the ordering in the report. If I want to remove something, say the project settings, if I just click on the X, it will go away. So a way to edit what's in the report is in the included tables column. Final thing to talk about with a report is printing it or saving it. There's a print button which will allow us to print to the current printer. Under the Save button, we can save the report as a PDF, a PowerPoint, HTML, a rich text file. So that's a way to save it to a file. Another thing we can do is hover our mouse over a table and right mouse button, and now have the option to copy it to the clipboard. And so if I do that, I can copy everything in the report to the clipboard, or just a particular table, the one my mouse is over. Copying it to the clipboard gives us an option for tab delimited or comma delimited. And in doing that, if I copy it to the clipboard, I can then open a program like Microsoft Excel and do paste and bring the information from the table into another program. So that's a very quick summary of what we can do with reports in VisualPlate.